Hey guys, trying to situate my camera phone here. Hello, how is everyone? My name is Blair Clark and I'm a social media marketer, and I am coming at you guys from the suburbs of Detroit. I actually am living in East Point right now, which is just a few miles north of the actual city of Detroit, and I do network marketing, social media marketing here from my home. And so I would just love to hear where everybody who is signing into this scope, where are you guys from? So if you don't mind, hello, Sham and Hops88, where are you guys from? So just type for me. Like I just said, if you're just joining on, I am outside of Detroit. I'm in the suburbs actually. And so I would just love to see, is there anybody else, even from Michigan? Are there people from other different parts of the world? And is anybody here interested in social media and content marketing? Does anybody actually work in network marketing or any type of marketing field like I do? So if you guys want to, go ahead and post that and just let me know where you are, where you're from, where you're at, and what you've got going on. So I'll just reintroduce myself one more time before I get into today's scope. My name is Blair Clark, and I am a social media marketer, and I do network marketing for a health and fitness company, and it is called Beachbody. And I have been with that particular company for almost a year now, and just in my trial and error and consistency of putting content out there on social media, I have learned a lot. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've learned a lot from those mistakes and also from my successes. And so why I'm making this scope today is I just wanted to share with you guys really the 6 steps that I have followed that have offered me success when making different content for social media. So I don't use all types of social media. I really am vested in the big 3 to me, which are Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I've just in the last few weeks gotten into Periscope. I know it's only been out for a couple of months, but I just kind of have been loosely using it. So really what I'm talking about right now is my observations based on using Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. These are the 6 steps that I have just kind of developed and followed, and I had to really just kind of sit down and think about it and write out what are the steps that I am using and just give them names and give them labels. So if you are a marketer and you're struggling with creating content that is getting people to engage with you and to do business with you, to purchase from you or to buy your product or your service, then one tip that I have from you, aside from the 6 tips that I'm going to give you, is really just sit down and write out what is it that you're doing? What steps are you following? Give what you're doing a name, give it a label, and maybe you'll be able to see where everything comes together, and you might actually be able to see holes that you have in your strategy as well, and where you can fill in the gaps. So if you would like to follow me beyond this Periscope, I don't scope a whole lot, but you can go to my YouTube channel, which is called Blair Clark Media. I just began it a couple of weeks ago. It's my new video blog. I'm really excited about it, so you can find me there and you can watch videos just like this where I just share my own advice on social media and what I do as a marketer. I don't ask for anything other than your feedback in return. I just go on there on that YouTube channel, Blair Clark Media, and I just post all of my stuff that I've got going on in my brain. So let's get into the title of this Periscope, which is my 6 steps that I follow to create killer content on social media. So these are the steps that I follow when I'm creating content that I want my followers to engage with. I don't want people just to scroll through and read it and say to themselves like, oh, that's nice. This is the type of content that I want people to interact with, because social media is social, right? So we want people to be engaging with and interacting with our content. And what I mean by engaging is we want people to be clicking like, and we want people to be commenting, we want people to be retweeting, reposting, sharing, talking about your stuff via social media, because social media is huge, you guys. Billions of people are on social media. That's where the eyes are, and that's where the word of mouth stream is going. And so you want to get your content out there and have its wheels be churning, so that you can increase your following, increase your sales, increase your business on social media. So let's get into step number 1, which is developing your brand. And if you're not sure what a brand is, your brand is everything that people associate with you when they think about you. So it's what they think about you, how they think about you, maybe what your character is on social media. It's all of the words, terms, phrases that people would generate in their mind when they think about you. They think about your business, they think about your product, they think about your service, they think about your social media presence. So your brand is like all of the adjectives that people would generate in their mind when they are thinking about you as a business person online. So this isn't like your personal social media usage. This is when you are engaging on social media for business. This is how people think of you. And so when you develop your brand, you need to be very consistent. You don't want to be up and down. We don't want to have this like bipolar characterization on social media. You want to be very consistent with who you are. So if you are funny, then go with and stick with funny. If you are serious, then go with and stick with serious. If you are intelligent, then go with that. So what I did is I picked 3 adjectives that I wanted to consistently describe myself as, what I want people to say or think of when they are discussing or thinking of me as a brand. I want these 3 adjectives to consistently come up in people's minds. And so that's how you develop your brand. And so your brand really should be who you are. Don't try to be somebody that's fake. Think about who you are already. And if you're having trouble generating adjectives, generating words to describe yourself, just ask the people that you're closest to. Ask your family, ask your friends, ask your social media followers, if you had to describe me in 3 words, what would they be? And then choose the most common 3 words, use those as your branding labels, and then make all of your content fit that brand. Make it feel like that brand, so that when people come and they see your content, they get this consistent characterization of you. You're not up and down. People want to know what to expect. So that actually is step number 2, is to be consistent. Stay true to your brand. Stay true to who you are. And also post consistently. People want to do business with other people, with other businesses that they know, like, and they trust, right? They want to feel like they know you. They want to be able to trust you. And the more that they like you, the more they want to do business with you, right? So you need to be consistent to who you've decided that you are, to what your brand is. And then you also need to post content that reflects that brand consistently. So if you post once a week, that's all you've got time for, then keep that consistent. Post once a week. I do recommend that you post more than that. In fact, I try to consistently post 4 times a day on social media. I post around 8 a.m., around 12 p.m., around 4 p.m., and around 8 p.m. So I try to consistently put out content that reflects my brand 4 times a day. And I might put personal posts out on social media more than that. Like I might post about my son, or I might post about my family. I might post, something silly that's going on in my life. But brand-related, business-related posts, I try to post at least 4 times a day to the different social media platforms that I have, so that I am out there and I am being consistent, and people are consistently getting me and getting my brand and getting to know, like, and trust me, so that they want to do business with me. Step number 3 to creating killer social media content is pick your social media platforms and then stick with those social media platforms. You don't have to learn and use the gamut of social media platforms that are out there. There are so many. And if you try to engage in all of them, you're going to find that you are spreading yourself too thin and you're not going to get very good at it. So you want to just choose which ones you like the best, maybe the ones that you are currently using the most, and then you want to stick with those and you want to get to know them really well. So basically choose your faves and then rock them out. So me personally, my favorite social media platforms are Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So those are the ones that I use the most. And like I said, I'm dabbling here in Periscope and I Pinterest a little bit and I blog somewhat. But Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, those are my favorites. So those are what I chose. Those are the ones that I am learning, and those are the ones that I am consistently posting my brand related stuff to. Those are the ones that I am rocking out. Step number 4 is once you've decided what social media platforms you're going to go with, you want to learn these social media platforms. Learn the cultures, learn the nuance, learn how to use these social media platforms, because not all social media content is created equal. In fact, what works on one platform probably might not work on another platform. So what people want to see on Facebook isn't necessarily what people want to see on Twitter, is not necessarily what people want to see on Instagram, is not necessarily what people want to see on Pinterest. Do you get what I'm saying? A Facebook post has its own culture, has its own nuance, has its own language, has its own style. A tweet has its own culture, has its own language, has its own nuance, has its own style. Same thing with your Instagram post, same thing with your pin on Pinterest, same thing with your scope here on Periscope, same thing with your YouTube video. Each social media platform is different, so you want to learn these social media platforms. You want to learn what is desired. What do people on these social media platforms really, really want to see? Because if you're posting Facebook posts that aren't true to the Facebook culture, we would call that native. If it's not native to Facebook, then people just aren't going to get it. Facebook users just aren't going to get it. Like, for example, on Instagram, you can post a pretty picture of what you're eating and then just like hashtag the heck out of it, right? Just like 25 hashtags up in there. But if you were to put that same picture on Facebook, a picture of what you were eating and then like 25 hashtags associated with it, people on Facebook aren't going to get that. They don't necessarily want to see what it is that you're consuming, and then nobody really hashtags on Facebook. I mean, you can, the hashtag will work. It'll link back to what it is that you're trying to put out there, but hashtags on Instagram are accepted. Hashtags on Facebook are kind of weird. It's like the same thing. Why is that? I don't know the nature of the beast. I'm just trying to study and learn the beast, okay? So learn the social media platform, and then step number 5, and this is the most important one. So listen up, you guys. This is the most important step of them all, is step number 5. Learn your audience. Get to know your followers. Now, this is the most time-consuming step of them all. Yes, it is. It is very time-consuming to get to know all of the people who are following you. But it is the most important step, because the people who are following you, if you are doing this for business, right? You want to get their business. These people are your bread and butter. Simple as that. The people who are following you, the people who you have worked so hard to get into your network, to get into your little community, these people are your bread and butter, and so it will pay, literally and figuratively, it will pay off to study these people, to observe and take note of what are these people who are following me posting, what types of posts are they creating, what types of tweets are they tweeting, what types of pictures are they Instagramming, what types of pins are they pinning, what types of scopes are they creating. It pays to get to know your audience, because these are the people who eventually are going to be paying you, right? if you are desiring to do business with them. So take some time, take some notes, study and observe your audience members, and just get to know what is it that my audience wants to see. Because if your audience is mostly posting funny posts and you come in with some serious deep stuff, then they're not going to accept that. They're not going to get that. They're certainly not going to engage in it because they don't connect with it. If your audience is posting mostly heartfelt, endearing stuff, and you get on there and you're posting, crude comedy, then again, they're not going to connect with that. And if you don't connect with something on social media, then you don't engage with it. You can think of this like you are a user of social media. If you don't connect with the post, do you like it? Do you comment on it? Do you share it? Do you retweet it? Do you repin it? Do you give it a little heart on Instagram? No, if you don't have a connection, then you're not engaging. So if your followers aren't connecting, then why would they engage, right? So that was step number 5. And now the final step number 6, is to put it all together, mash it all up, and find what I call the sweet spot. So we want to create content that is A, true to our brand, okay, it's consistent with who we are, our character on social media. B, fits the culture of the social media platform that we're using, so it looks like it belongs there, or it's native, we might call it. And then also C, it's what our followers want. So we want to make sure that we are creating all 3 of those things. Content that is true to our brand, fits the social media platform, and is what our followers want. And that piece of content is what I call the sweet spot. Because we are inundated with media, and you know that. If you want to stand out amongst all the other voices shouting at your customers on these social media platforms, then you've got to create content that your customers are going to want. Because social media marketing isn't the same as TV commercial marketing or print ad newspaper marketing. Social media marketing is interactive, it's engaging, it's social, right? And if the content that you're creating doesn't fit that type of social mold, then you might as well not even bother creating it. All right? It's just a waste of your time. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this scope. I'm going to post this also on my YouTube channel later, which is Blair Clark Media, and you can look me up there and subscribe to my video blog. I would love to see you on there. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope that this helps somebody out there in Periscope land. All right? Take care, you guys, and have an awesome day.